everybody, this is Darren with GuitarControl.com bringing you this video lesson, and today I have volume 6 of subscriber requested riffs. Right now if you click the link down in the description you can download a free chord chart from Guitar Control. It's in PDF format, you can print it out, it's very useful, it has every chord that you could ever need for whatever you're trying to play, right at a glance, very useful tool. So be sure to click on the link in the description for the tabs, and let's get close up and take a look at these. Okay, so the first one we're going to look at is No Good by Lynch Mob. So this one we're going to start out here. We're on the 9th fret, or excuse me, the 7th fret of the D string with my first finger, and the 9th fret of the G string with my third finger, and the 10th fret of the B string with my fourth finger, and then the A string open. So we're going to start off, we're going to play just the A string, and then we're going to strum the rest of the chords. So it's like one hand, and then we rest on the downbeat of 2, and then on the end of 2, we're going to take our pinky off, and we're going to put our second finger down, so it's on the 8th fret of the B string. So we hit that, and it's on the and of 2, but it's a half note. So it takes care of the and of 2 plus beat 3 and the downbeat of beat 4. And then on the and of 4, we just strum, we take our third finger off. So now we're just picking up the 7th fret of the D string, the 7th fret of the G string, and the 8th fret of the B string. So that's our first measure. So we hit this on the and of 4. This is the G5 over A, and it's tied to beat 1 of the next measure. So then we're going to hit that again on the downbeat of 2, and then we're going to take our second finger off. So now we're just barring the 7th fret of the D, G, and B string. So. We put our pinky back on, or excuse me, our second finger back on, and then we take it back off again, and we hit the D, G, and B, and then just try to hit just the D and G at the end there. So that's like half of the riff. Then it kind of starts over the same way. The third measure is the same as the first. And then on the last measure, starting on the and of 1, we're going to go to the 8th fret on the low E string with our pinky, and then to the 5th fret of the A string with our first finger, then to the 6th fret with our second finger, and then to the 7th fret with our third finger, to the 5th fret of the D string with our first finger, and then back to the 6th fret of the low E. So it's, and then the whole thing would just repeat. All right, next we're going to look at The Lady Wore Black by Queensrÿche. So this one here, we've got this chord here. It's an E5, but it's kind of an extended E5. So you put your first finger on the 2nd fret of the A string and your second finger on the 2nd fret of the D string, like you're doing an E minor chord. And then you're going to use your pinky to pick up the 4th fret of the G string. And we're going to play this, it's all 8th notes. So starting on the low E, we go E, A, D, G, and then up to the high E. B, G, D. So just 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So that's the first measure. And then for the second measure, we have this C major 7, which is just basically, it's like a C5 power chord, but since the B and E string are open here. So after we do that, you basically just scoot your first finger up so it's now on the 3rd fret of the A string. Your third finger is on the 5th fret of the D string, and your 4th finger is on the 5th fret of the G string. And now we're going to play starting on the A string A, D, G, and then B and E together. So that's 1 and 2 and 3, 4. So it's tied to a half note that takes care of the rest of the of that measure. So that's half of the riff right there. Then the third measure is the same as the first one. So we just come back to this big E5 again. Now for the last measure, and how I like to do this is with my second finger because it's already here on the D string. When I do this, I just start from here. So you want to slide from nowhere, so you just want it, you don't want your ear to pick up on this note right here. So when we get to the end of that, slide up like that and drop my first finger to the 4th fret of the G string. So when I slide up, hit the G string and then the B string. So then we got to move the note here on the D string down to the 4th fret. So I just switch my finger position. So my first finger goes from being on the 4th fret of the G string to the 4th fret of the D string, and then I bring my second finger up. I do the same thing, D, G, B, and then just take my fingers off D, B, both open. So, and then the riff would just start over again. Alright, and then the last one we're going to look at is 3 Lock Box by Sammy Hagar. So this is just kind of a rock and blues kind of a thing, but the timing on it's kind of strange. It's in 3/4 timing, so it has this kind of a weird vibe to it. So we're basically only going to be using one chord, just A5. So if you just take your first finger and just bar it here at the 2nd fret on the D and the G string, and then leave your A string open. So we're going to start off and take our second finger and put it on the 3rd fret of the A string. And we're going to pick that and do just a 1/4 step bend and then to the open string. Like that. So, like I said, this is kind of weird timing. So this is, the beat number 1 is 16th notes. So this is 1, E, and so on the 3rd 16th note is a rest. Then we hit the A, then we rest again and hit the A again, and then the open low E to the 3rd fret. That's the first measure. So that, 3 and then we go on to the next measure. So the next measure is very similar to the first one. We start off again with that 3rd fret of the A string, 1/4 step bend to open, rest, A, and then this time we're going to go to the 3rd fret of the A string with our second finger, and we're going to pick that 1/4 step bend to the open string, to the 3rd fret of the low E with a little bend, and then starting on the 3rd measure, we start with that same note to the open A string, rest, A, and then for beat 3 of that 3rd measure, it's all 16th notes. So 3, E, and so 3rd fret of the A string with a 1/4 step bend to the open A, and then to the 3rd fret of the low E, and it's a pull off. So, and then it just repeats. Alright, so there you have it, Volume 6 of Subscriber Requested Riffs. And like I said, if you have any suggestions for these, leave them down in the comments, because I read the comments and that's where I get these ideas from. So if you like this lesson, be sure to give me a thumbs up and leave a comment down below if you have any questions about this or other guitar-related topics. If you've not already done so, please subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the content that we upload throughout the week. Well, that is all I have for you today. Thanks for watching and have a great day.